Tonight, my friends, marks the 5th year that I have presented to you on the state of Westchester County. Whether liberal or conservative in philosophy, whether Democrat or Republican in affiliation, we shared one overarching belief, the belief in democracy with a capital D. That whether, as you are tonight, the current day stewards of an experiment, that men and women can govern their own lives through representative government. It is the way we pull for each other in our time of need. The way we shovel the snow off a neighbor's driveway. The way we check in on a sick friend. The way we share a warm meal with a loved one. And the way that nearly 90% of Westchester County residents got vaccinated against COVID-19 to protect their families and to protect each other. When I was first in this office, I said that we share this small patch of land for a moment in time. All of us here together in our Westchester County. It is on all of us to protect this county, to nurture it, and that spills over to protecting and nurturing our state and our country and democracy overall. We must always protect what we value and hold dear here in Westchester County. We learned that during the pandemic, no one person can care for all the sick. No one person can test all the worried. No one person can vaccinate all the willing. No one person can teach the young. No one person can restore our faith. No one person can do anything alone. But fear not, because we have each other. One Westchester. It's just nice to be back in person, isn't it? Just this past year, we opened up projects in Greenburgh, in Portchester. We made significant projects in White Plains and in Peekskill, all of which had affordable housing units. So what is the state of our county, you rightfully ask? That's simple. While others are divided, while others swim in opposing tides, fighting currents and waves of destruction, we, the state of our county, is united. We are united and we are growing. The 2020 census found that more than 1 million people, 1,004,457 people to be exact, now call Westchester home. We know families are pouring into this county, and we know that homes are flying off the markets, and we know it because we see it on our own blocks. Now, let's meet one of those new Westchester families.
We feel so lucky that we got this house. We were looking, but everything was quite expensive. And it was at that time during coronavirus where I think everyone moved out of the city and wanted to live in more space. For us, the school system is so important. So I know Croton has a great school.
There was an open house on this street and there was just car in, car out.
You can see it even from the sales and the property values. They're going up because there's high demand. So it feels like people are coming, not going.
So we are launching innovative economic development programs, but we aren't raising taxes to do it. We've got results, not rhetoric. And those results, yours as well as mine, was to cut the county property tax levy by $7 million in the 2022 budget. This is the third county property tax cut in a row for this administration and the largest tax cut in over a decade. And if projections hold true, we will make every effort to continue this for next year. We have sought to provide for this county 4 full years of smart, prudent fiscal management. Westchester County's bond ratings now stand as stable by all 3 major rating agencies, and this is an upgrade from having been downgraded and put on a negative watch when we first came in. Here in Westchester, we are tough on crime. Do not let any other political nonsense tell you otherwise. The numbers don't lie. You might have heard that crime is out of control, that criminals are running rampant. But let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the facts. Because here in Westchester County, crime is down. When the Westchester County Department of Public Safety compared January through September 2017 versus 2021, we see a decrease across the board. Total index crime has decreased 26.5%. Total violent crime has decreased 27.6%. Total property crimes have decreased 26.3%. Our police professionals, working with all elements of our communities, have made Westchester County a safe place to live. Crime is down. It's been down. It will continue to be down. 911 diversion is part of a five-prong approach developed by the Departments of Community Mental Health, Public Safety, Emergency Services, and Social Services to address the needs of Westchester County residents with behavioral health challenges. This project is part of that broader Westchester County Police Reform and Reimagining Task Force. We will be updating the public on the county's implementation of the Westchester County Police Reform and Reimagining Task Force recommendations. To date, 34 of the 38 recommendations that apply to the county have been implemented, and 4 are in the process of being implemented. But it must be said that acts of hate are on the rise nationally. We've seen some incidents in Westchester. They've targeted Asian Americans. They've targeted other ethnic groups. Let me take a moment to make this clear. Any act of hate against anyone based on the color of their skin, their creed, or the country of origin is heinous and will not be tolerated in Westchester County. Will not be tolerated in Westchester County. Let us make sure that every ethnicity is treated with proper dignity. And we kept a promise to strengthen and revitalize the Westchester County Human Rights Commission. We signed into law the Anti-Discriminatory Harassment Bill, legislation that expands the type of harassment that can be prosecuted under the new law. And with the new law in place, individuals are prohibited from interfering with a person's right to the employment of their home or residence, to utilize and enjoy public transportation, free from threats, intimidation, harassment, coercion, or violence because of the person's actual or perceived membership in a protected class. After 12 long years, Westchester County this year was finally able to close the book on the affordable housing settlement. That did not mean that we closed the book on development of affordable housing. In fact, what it does is free us to seek affordable housing in every corner of this county. We recently received notification from the court that Westchester County was in substantial compliance with the consent decree and a federal housing monitor was no longer needed. As of right now, affordable housing units have been completed and occupied in Port Chester, in Yonkers, in Greenburgh, in Rybrook, in numerous places, and more than 4,400 units are in the pipeline. And that's still not enough to meet our goal. And we continue to work with every municipality in this county. We may focus on 1 or 2 communities that have a ways to go, but we've had so much compliance and so much success in so many different ways. And we've also allocated millions of dollars in the budget to stand behind that development and rehabilitation of affordable housing units. In this budget of 2022, which you adopted, we had a combined total of $50 million in capital expenditures. That is the largest single-year commitment to affordable housing in the county's history, and it adds to a $90 million commitment that's been made over the last 3 years. That is putting your money where your mouth is. And along with your affordable house, we also need to get you someplace, to home and to work. We need to do that with minimal impact to the environment. So for the first time in Westchester County history, Westchester County is running all-electric buses. The first time we have 6 all-electric B-Line buses. We have hybrid electric buses, and we are converting this bus fleet away from diesel and to a much more cleaner environment. We're saving money on fuel costs. We're reducing the pollution that gets expelled right to you standing at the bus stop, and we're reducing our carbon footprint in a practical, concrete way. After long years of neglect, we are rebuilding Playland. The Art Deco masterpiece is getting $125 million of improvements. That includes colonnades, building foundations, plumbing, electrical and new bathrooms. Original buildings at the Fountain Plaza are down to the studs. We are modernizing. We're keeping the Art Deco exteriors because we believe in fixing infrastructure and we believe in that park. We not only understand the cost of things, but we understand the value of things. We're committed to construction and renovation. We're committed to investing money to bring back what was old and make it new again, to live for people and invest in Westchester County. Since taking office in 2018, the backlog of capital projects has been reduced by $400 million. We have made great strides to improve capital programs and increase efficiency. Our parks are where we play, where we exercise, where we socialize in a way that's never been done before, where we celebrate our heritage, our culture, the things that make us, us. When you look at these tombstones from here, can you tell who's buried underneath? Can you tell that there's an African American buried under this tombstone and a white American under that tombstone? We have to define the we as broadly as we can, because over time we understood the evil of slavery and the evil of genocide of the Native Americans, and the foolishness not to accept the European immigrants the day they hit here, because they helped build the country, and so did the Asian immigrants and the Latin American immigrants. And now, I don't know if this is the last frontier, but to accept people for how they identify themselves. You saw in that video the painting of the Progress Pride flag at Playland. I want to thank the Loft and the LGBTQ Advisory Board for doing the painting. And I want to say to everyone listening, and I mean this, you're welcome here. Here in Westchester, we say gay, we say transgendered, because we also say love and acceptance. This past September, Westchester County was among the first governments to unveil a new 9/11 memorial dedicated to the first responders who lost their lives to 9/11 related illnesses. The Westchester County 9/11 First Responders Memorial is designed to complement the stonework of the dam and surround the rising as an eternal watch. This memorial is the culmination of a promise this county government made to the families and the loved ones of those true Westchester heroes. Today we are here to unveil this addition to the original Rising to honor people who had their lives cut short because they served us as Americans. I pray that none of the rest of us will ever be put to the test that they were put to. We the people still believe that our obligations are not just to ourselves, but to all prosperity. The great moments in this country were not done by one person alone. Selma, the moon landing, Stonewall, here in Westchester, the building of the great Kensico Dam, or the building of the 9/11 First Responders Memorial, our response to COVID, our skylines. None of it was done alone. I've seen this set up for Mount Vernon High School football games when I was in high school. I received my high school diploma on this field over 50 years ago. This was a field where sports was played. It's going to become that again, and it looks like it's going to become that again. You see the grandstands, you see the entryway of the plaza. This benefit will exist for years to come. When you do capital projects, when you do infrastructure, even when they're expensive, they still have a multiple year benefit. You will pay off the note over time. It's the same principle by which you buy a house with a mortgage. Properly maintained, this improvement will last for decades to come. It does not happen with one person. It does not happen with one administration. It happens with all of us. And if there's anything that we have to focus on is what that combination of talents will be in the years to come. My job is to make sure that we focus on what really matters, which is the we in Westchester that will drive this county forward. Here in this government, we are steadfast that we must be transparent, we must be efficient, we must be responsive and ethical, and we must be accountable. These are the rules we live by. These are the principles that we hold very dear. And we do this for all of us, for the good of democracy, for the well-being of our county, and the well-being of our country. So as is written in the book of Isaiah, my friends, come, let us reason together. Legislative, executive, prosecutorial, judicial, let us reason together. We have so much more to do. Our work is not done. Perhaps it will never be done. This county executive took his name off all the county signage. This county executive chose to freeze his pay even when colleagues in surrounding counties are paid more. This county executive is not squired around the county by a motorcade of drivers and staff. And this county executive sponsored, with your approval, the toughest county executive term limit law in the state. Because all of this is not about the county executive. It is about the county. It is about the county and the people of this county. This is about good government. We reach, we strive, we change, and we do it together. We're building something bigger than ourselves here on this small patch of land in this moment of time. I think back on the moment of time 30 years ago and how fast 30 years go. We are building our future together. Viajando juntos. We are traveling together. My friends, thank you.